So it's me, Omas Mikis Cabalis, Biles 1B. So for today, I'm going to share what is my understanding about linguistics and what are the school of linguistics and also the branches of linguistics. So what is linguistics, by the way? So linguistics is simply study of language but in a scientific way, like syntax. So syntax is the study of phrases and sentences. Morphology, the study of words, phonetics, the study of sounds, phonology, the study of phonemes, semantics, literal meaning of the phrases, sentences, and the last one, pragmatics. So pragmatics, the study of the meaning of context in discourse. So let's move on to the School of Linguistics. The following are the most known School of Linguistics. First, we have the historicism, functionalism, structuralism, generativism, and cognitism. So historicism, historical linguistics, is a study of phonological, grammatical, and semantic changes as well as the reconstruction of earlier stages of language. So historicism is the linguistics describes the process of researching and understanding the the, the derivation and the evolution of language. So linguistics is the study of language. Historicism is a perspective that argues that writing of all types and styles needs to take into account the historical period, the geographical place, and the local cultures related to the subject matter. Most scholars agree that the concept of historicism was introduced by the German philosopher Karl Wilhelm Friedrich Schlegel in the early 19th century. Functionalism, the first school of thought, focuses on how language is actually used in everyday life. It emphasizes the importance of social context, usage, and the communicative function of grammar, phonology, morphology, and more of language. So, functionalism and the approach to language, the study that is concerned with the functions performed by language, primarily in terms of cognition relating information, expression indicating mood, and cognition exerting influence, especially associated with the Prague School of Linguistics. Prague School of Linguistics prominent science since the 1930s. So the approach centers on how elements in various language accomplish this function both grammatically and phonologically. Some linguists have applied the findings to work on stylistic and literary criticism. Structuralism is based on work of Ferdinand de Saussure of Switzerland. Is an approach to linguistics that focuses on the idea that language are fixed systems made up from different units that connect with each other. Structuralism in linguistics, any one of several schools of 20th century linguistics committed to the structuralist principle that a language is a self-contained relational structure, the elements of which derive their for linguistics by the Swiss scholar Ferdinand de Saussure in the year of 1857 until 1913. So Saussurian structuralism was further developed in somewhat different direction by the Prague School, Glucksmatics, and other European movements. Generativism. So generativism is a linguistic theory that regards linguistics as a study of a hypothesized innate grammatical structure. It is a biological or logistic modification of earlier structuralist theories of linguistics, deriving ultimately from Glucksmatics. So, generative grammar considers grammar as a system of rules that generates exactly those combination of words that form grammatical sentence in a given language. So, it is a system of explicit rules that may apply repeatedly to generate an indefinite number of sentences, which can be as long as one wants them to be. So the difference from structural and functional models is that the the object is base generated within the verb phrase in generative grammar. This purportedly cognitive structure is thought of as being a part of a universal grammar, a syntactic structure which is caused by a genetic mutation in humans. Cognitivism. In basic terms, cognitivism says that language emerged from human cognitive processes. It challenges universal grammar by suggesting that grammar is not something that all humans can inherently understand, but rather it is learned by using language. In this sense, it is a bit similar to functionalism. However, however, the main focuses of cognitivism is how language is based on meaning that the mind creates. At Alpha Omega Translation, a deep understanding of linguistics is behind the success of the company, which offers translation, interpretation, and desktop publishing services. Major branches of linguistics. First, we have the applied linguistics, social linguistics, psycholinguistics, and computational linguistics. So, applied linguistics is a field of study that looks at how linguistics can help understand real-life problems in areas such as psychology, sociology, and education. So it can be compared with theoretical linguistics, which looks at areas such as morphology, phonology, and lexis. Areas of applied linguistics of interest to teachers of languages include language acquisition, corpus studies, and social linguistics. For example, linguistics anthropology is a field of applied linguistics that links analysis of linguistics and socio-cultural issues. In the classroom, studies in applied linguistics which inform the ALT classroom include bilingualism, conversation and discourse analysis, sociolinguistics, language assessment, and language teaching itself. Sociolinguistics. So, sociolinguistic studies of language in relation to the society that deals with the relationship between language and society, language and man in various groups of society. So, sociolinguistic examples. So, sociolinguistics can be applied to virtually any area of daily life because language is so central to human social experience. Sociolinguistic examples that linguistics might study could include large-scale national studies of linguistic variation across a country, small-scale local studies of linguistic variation in a state or city, studies of language variation on a particular axis like gender or social class, and studies of language variation among particular groups like immigrants or second language speakers. Psycholinguistics is an important branch of linguistics which studies the interaction of language and mind, focusing mainly on how language is learned, stored, and occasionally lost. So, the study of interrelation between linguistic factors and psychological characteristics is known as psycholinguistics or psychology of language. It is considered a part of cognitive science. Psycholinguists study about how social roles are involved in the use of language and how the brain functions with the language. So, the scope of psycholinguistics. So, psycholinguistics is an interdisciplinary field. It is derived from psychology and linguistics. Psychology deals with human mind, while linguistics deals with the study of language. So, according to Clark and Clark, psycholinguistics scope is categorized into three major scopes. So the first one is comprehension. So what is comprehension? So comprehension is comprehending language involves a variety of capacities, skills, processes, knowledge, and disposition that are used to derive meaning from spoken, written, and signed language. While production is how human produce the language. And the last one is the language acquisition. So language acquisition, it means how human learn to comprehend and produce language. Areas of psycholinguistics. So psycholinguistics is the study of language with reference to human psychology. The first one is the neurolinguistics. So neurolinguistics is the study of language and brain. Second is language pathology. So language pathology, the breakdown of language, has been studied intensively from at least two main angles. Computational linguistics is a discipline between linguistics and computer science which is concerned with the computational aspects of the human language faculty. So computational linguistics, language analysis that uses computers. Computational analysis is often applied to the handling of basic language data. For example, making concordances and counting frequencies of sounds, words and word elements. Although numerous other types of linguistics analysis can be performed by computers. Beginning in the late 1960s, on computational linguistics drew on approaches from work on artificial intelligence, particularly on creating programs that could understand language as computers became more powerful and the amount of written material online grew with the development of the World Wide Web. Computational linguistics develop statistical approaches to studying language that allow computers to better understand human language. Types of computational linguistics. First, the theoretical computational linguistics. So theoretical linguistics takes up issues in the theoretical linguistics and cognitive sciences, while the applied computational linguistics focuses on the practical outcome of modeling human language use.